Hey y'all. So I've been wanting to make an introduction video to this game called Ancient Anguish for a while now. So this is a game that I've been playing off and on for around 20 years actually. It's been in development for over 30 years I think, and it's still getting updates periodically. So this is a text-based multiplayer game, or a MUD, and it's been a lot of fun to play over the years, and some of the things I really like about this game are the combat and the classes. It has 11 classes in it, I think, and they're all fairly diverse, a lot of different things to experiment with. And it also has a fairly high skill cap. It can keep you busy for quite a while, and I've enjoyed going through it over the years and trying to kind of optimize the routes I go through and my leveling process and all of that. So on the left here, I've got my game window open, and on the right is the main Ancient Anguish website, which you can get to at anguish.org. And this site has quite a bit of information on it, but I started creating my own site, this Ancient Anguish guide, where I'm going to be putting a lot of the details and information about the game on here. And to get this started, I created a quick start guide that I'll be kind of walking through in this video and playing along with it. And so I've got some starter information over here about how to connect to the game if you want to play. There's some free software called Mush Client that I highly recommend. You have to download that and install it to play. But if you just want to get started through a web interface, you can use a Grapevine or Mud Portal. I've had better luck with Grapevine. Mud Portal seems to be down occasionally, so I'd recommend Grapevine to start with. And that's what you see on the left. So it's been up for a minute, so it's disconnected. So I'll just refresh it. And now this is the initial login screen. And so I'm going to act like I'm a brand new player going through this and kind of going through what I have for my quick start guide here. And the first thing I have to do is pick a name. So I found this website that randomly generates orc names. I'm going to play as an orc fighter. So I'm going to refresh this and pick out a name here. See if I refresh it and find one that I like. Let's go with Sarad. So I'll enter that as my name. It sees I'm creating a new character. So I'll enter a password here. And now for email address, I would recommend you enter your own email address so you can get notifications about the game. It can kind of track which characters you have. You don't have to do that. So I'm just going to say none here. And I'm going to say I'm male. And now I get to pick my race. And so all the different races have different maximum stats and attributes. Since I'm going to play a fighter, an orc is a good choice. A dwarf would be another good choice. So now you get to this question. So this question, if you answer it 1 or 2, it puts you through the MUDs tutorial and gives you maybe a 10 or 15 minute introduction to the game and some of the commands that you can do in the game. I'm going to play through that so that I get to the end and can kind of see what anyone going through this would, but I'm going to fast forward through the playing of the tutorial since you don't need to watch me go through kind of the introductory stuff. If you pick 3 or 4, it just skips all of that stuff altogether and puts you out into the kind of initial room of the game. But I will play through the tutorial because it gives you a few items that I want to show as part of this video. Okay, so it's starting the tutorial, so now I will fast forward through this. Okay, I'm back and I ran through the tutorial real quick and I get to the end here where Borg is saying that he'll take me where I want to go, or I can pick. So if you actually type in look at this point, it will show you the places you can go. So one of the first things you want to do is join one of these classes. And so since we're going to be a fighter for this video, we can just go to the fighter exit, and that will put us right in the fighter class hall where we can join that class. But I'm actually going to play this as if I'm skipping the tutorial, and I'm going to go to the inn and show you how to navigate from there, just in case you don't play through the tutorial. So I will enter inn, and now I get this message saying I stand in the common room of the Ancient Inn of Tantallon. So this is the room that you always end up in when you first log in to the game. So pretty important room. And my quick start guide over here has some directions from here on where to go. If you look at the navigating section here, it talks about some of this. And the central point in the game is called the Crossroads. It's where the roads in the city of Tantallon, like the east and west and north-south roads, intersect. And so it's a very important spot in the game, and all the directions that you can get from various sites are all in reference to being at the crossroads. So we're going to navigate there now, and to do that I'm just going to enter S to go south, and then at this point I'm standing on Main Street of the town, and I know that the crossroads are 6 east from this point. So if I enter it 6 times, and now I get the message I'm standing at the major crossroads of the village, so this is where I want to be. And it also mentions that Glory Walk leads north toward the Fighters Guild, which is where I want to go so that I can become a fighter. And for my quick start guide over here, you can see that the fighter is 2 north, 1 west from the crossroads. So now if I go north twice and west once, I end up in the Fighters Guild. Now, of course, if you're playing through this on your own, you're going to want to take your time and stop and kind of read the descriptions and look at things and kind of learn about the different things that you can do and interact with as you go. And you can look at different NPCs that might be coming by and that sort of thing. But just to keep this fairly brief, I'll just skip that and let you go through that on your own. So now I'm in this fighter class hall, and I want to join the class, so I just type in join, and it's going to ask me if I want to become a fighter. Yes, I do, so I'll say yes. And so now I am Sarad the Utter Novice, a fighter. And I can type in score, and it will give me some information about my character, and I can see my class is now listed as a fighter. Okay, so navigating Tantallon, it can be a little bit tricky to get started. And you have this kind of map with just these directions in these rooms, and it can be really hard to visualize. Now, there's this site called Ancient Anguish Research rather, that you can go to, and I have it in my quick start, and I also have it in my links section. And it has this download that you can get that has maps of the game that are super helpful in being able to understand where different things are and kind of follow along in the game and see where things are. So it downloaded this as a zip file. I can open this up. I can see a structure like this within the zip file. There's all sorts of great information in here, guides to the game. You can see different things that will teach you in a lot of detail. And then the maps section in particular I'm going to go to, and since I'm in Tantallon, I'm going to search for Tantallon here. I'm going to open this PDF map up, and this is what it looks like. Now this might be a little overwhelming at first when you first look at it, but you'll quickly kind of adjust to it and start to know where things are on the map. And you can see this line right here is the primary east-west road, and this one is the north-south road, and of course this colored box is the crossroads, which is where I am right now. If I look again, it says you stand at the major crossroads of the village. And so I can kind of use this map to help me navigate a bit in the game. So if I go back to my quick start, one of the things I want to do now is start gaining some experience, right? I'm level 1. I can't do much. I need to gain a couple levels before I can really do anything. There's 2 ways I can do this. I can go and do some delivery jobs for the commodities exchange, or I can go kill some stuff. So I'm going to do a little bit of both and show what both of those things looks like. So I'm at the crossroads. To get to the commodities exchange, I need to go to east, south, and then west. If I look at the map, you can kind of follow along and say 1, 2 east, south, and then west, and it puts me right here in this room right here, this C1 room. Okay, so I ran those commands. I'm in the commodities exchange, and here I can get delivery jobs from Lou, and he will give me packages that I can run around to different rooms, initially just within this map of Tantallon, and deliver those to earn some experience as well as get some coins. The first thing you have to do here is you have to read this sign, I believe, and it will give you some information, some of the things I'm describing to you now. So definitely read through that on your own. And then you to accept a job, you type in accept, and you can see the current job with current. So let's see what the current one is. He wants something delivered to the. Oh, it just changed, so I can't take that one since it's different now. And this is a delivery to the clan hut entrance of the scythe camp. So this is not within Tantallon, so I won't be able to take that one yet. You can't take some jobs until you get more experience. And so I'm going to wait for a job to pop up here that I know I'll be able to do. So in the meantime, I'll show you this CX directions page I have here. This lists all the directions for some of the initial deliveries you might get, as well as the more advanced deliveries. So you have to run about 15 to 20 of these initial deliveries before they'll start giving you these more advanced ones. So now I just have to wait for a bit for a job that's in this initial deliveries category to pop up. And when it does, I'll accept it. It usually goes really quickly, but sometimes you get a string of these jobs that you can't do, and so you just have to wait for a little bit. Okay, here's one that I can accept. Delivery. Oh, I can't. Okay, here's one that I should be able to accept. Okay, here's one I should be able to accept. All right, so I got my first job. I'm supposed to make a delivery of small parcels to the shop in Tantallon. So I can look over here at my initial deliveries list and see the shop in Tantallon is one west and then one north from the crossroads. So I have to get back to the crossroads first. So I would go east, then north, and then west twice. I'm back at the crossroads, and now again I just follow these directions. I go west and the north again, and I am in the village shop. If I look at my inventory, I can see I have the CX package of small parcels, so I just type in deliver, and now the delivery job's done. He gives me 45 coins, and I'm finished with that one. So I want to run a few of these, so I'm going to go back over to this one and try to accept another one. So I was able to get that one to the brawling arena, and again I would just look at this listing to give me directions of where to go, and it might be useful to pair that up with the map and try to start learning the game. Since I know all of the kind of areas and locations to go to pretty well here, I can go quite fast through this. But when you're first doing it, it will take a bit of time to get used to doing this. So I made that delivery. I'm back to the crossroads and come back over to here to the CX again and try to accept this one. Okay, I got another job to the pub, so I know where that one is just from memory. Come here and deliver it, and there I got my coins. Do one or two more here, and so I can't do this one because it's again too high of level. Okay, here's one to the pub that I was able to accept, so I'll go back to the pub once more and get some more coins. I'm going to do one more and then I'll move on to something else. And the brawling arena one more time. And again, you'll get much faster at this over time. The first few you do, if you've never played this game before, it's going to take you a while to kind of explore and figure out where to go from those directions. And I would encourage you to take your time and kind of read what it says and that kind of thing while you're playing. Okay, so I finished a few jobs now. I've got some gold coins from them. If I type in score, I can see I also have some experience. And now I want to go and kill a few enemies and show you what that looks like. But first, I think I can actually advance one of my statistics or one of my attributes for my character here. So I'm going to go back to my class hall real quick. I'm going to go north 2 and then west once, and I'm back in the fighters hall. And here, if I type in cost, it will show you how much experience points something costs to advance. So the first thing I'm going to advance is going to be my dexterity, because that will make it easier to hit things, and at really low levels that can be a challenge. So I'll say advance dex. Okay, that's done. So now if I type in cost again, you can see I can't advance anything else because I need more experience points. So back to the crossroads. And now from here, for my first location I'm going to go to fight something, I'm going to go to Tantallon Park. So this is a very newbie-friendly area. It's quite easy. There's a few simple enemies to kill. Not many of them are aggressive, which means they won't attack you without you attacking them first. There's just one exception there. And so we'll go there, and then I will show you that there's also a map for that area. If I come here and I open this PDF, again, you can see what this looks like. And so these maps of all these different locations really help you visualize the game and understand what's going on better. And if you look at the directions here, to get to the park, you have to go 8 west, south, and then enter park. So I'll do that now. And you can see I'm now slightly outside of Tantallon, and I get this message saying there's a small park here. So I'll enter park, and now I'm at the north gates of that park. So if I go back to this, I am standing right here. To the west of this is Dragon's Playground, which is slightly more difficult, so we'll stay away from there for now, and we'll go down into this area and check a couple things out. So first we'll go south, so I'm in this one, and I'm going to go west to here, and then west one more time to here, and I see a little mouse. If I check my inventory, again, this is from the tutorial earlier. I ended up with these things. And so I have a jacket, which is some weak armor, and I have a rough club, which is a weapon, not a very good weapon, but a weapon nonetheless. And now I can type in kill mouse, and I'll begin combat. Now, as a fighter, I have a few abilities to start with that I can use here that will increase the amount of damage that I do. So one of those is Fury, so I will turn that on. Uh, it's been a while since I played Fury or Fighter, so I have to type Fury on apparently. So now that what that does is it gives me a chance for an extra hit or a more powerful hit each time I attack, at the cost of some spell points. So you can see each time I attempt to attack, it's going to be using up some spell points. So I can't keep the Fury on for too long, or I will run out of spell points, which is okay. They will recover over time, and you can see what my hit points are here. Slowly going down, but shouldn't have too much of a problem with the small mouse. And while I'm fighting, if I type in look at opponent, it will give me a status of him, and it says I think he's battered. That's a lot to type, so I like to use aliases to make that easier. So if I say alias C, look at opponent, now I can just type in C, and it does the look at opponent. So doing that, I can make use of those aliases, and it makes it a lot less typing and a lot faster to play this game. Okay, and I killed the mouse, so if I look now, I can see the corpse. If I say look at corpse, there's nothing on it. So sometimes, you'll have loot on those corpses, and you'll want to take that and then go back to Tantallon and sell it. So while I was fighting it, I don't think I gained any skills. One of the key things in this game are to build up your skills. Every weapon gets a different skill number associated with it. So for now, I'm going to go back to Tantallon, and I will show you how you can level up those skills much faster. I go to the crossroads, and now there is a camp that should be 26 north and 1 east from this location. So if I go up there, well, I ran past it somewhere. This is not the right one. Yeah, there it is. Found it. I must have hit one too many norths or one too few. But anyway, you'll run into this Zhao, the weapons trainer, and what you can do here is he will train you in the weapon that you're wielding, and then for the next 10 minutes or so, you will gain skills much faster using that weapon. And so that's going to make it much easier to level up, and so you're always going to want to do this while you're low level. I think you can do it up to skill 15 for any weapon, and it's going to make the first few levels much easier. So I'm going to do that now. It does cost some coins. Hopefully I have enough. So it only costs 25 coins. And so he instructs me on how to use the weapon, and so now I will gain skills with it much faster. Okay, so he tells me basically he's done. So I'm going to leave this place, and then I'm going to go back down to Tantallon, back to the crossroads, and right there. And so now I'm going to go back to the park, enter the park, go south, go over this way, and first of all, I'm going to look and see. I have a bit of damage, 39 hit points. I have 50 total, but from the tutorial, I got some medicinals, which I can use to heal myself, so I'm going to do Bind Wounds. And now this will gradually heal me over time. Uh, you will naturally regenerate your hit points and your spell points, but this will make it a little bit faster. So now I can see there's a dray of 4 squirrels, so I'm going to attack those. And you can see how fast this hill goes up on those. First hit, it already went up. So that could just be a coincidence, but again, you always want to be fighting with the bonus from Zhao as a new character, because you will gain skills much faster, and you will also kill things faster because you hit them more often, and so they're going to die a lot faster. And you can see I've already gained another skill point, so fighters in general do level up skills quite quickly, especially with this setup. Well, with that, I think I got through some of the introductory points of the game and some of the details in the quick start guide here. I'll be adding more to this and probably creating more videos for this in the future. But thanks for watching, and look out for more in the future.